Good morning, everyone. Last week, during Game 6 of the finals between Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, something remarkable happened. At the very end of the game, the Miami Heat scored a basket and brought the game to 103 to 102. And then the ball went to the Boston Celtics. And the player shot the ball, and in the very last second, after the buzzer already went off, the ball went in, and they had to look at the clock to see if he released the ball before the buzzer or after the buzzer. And when they looked at it, they saw that he released the ball a millisecond, 1/10 of a second before the buzzer went off, which means that the basket was counted. And sure enough, the Celtics beat the Miami Heat 104 to 103. This once again underscores the value not just of a second, but of a millisecond, and how 1/10 of a second can be the difference between victory or defeat. In this week's Torah portion, we learn about the tribe of Levi and the different members and how they transported the tabernacle in the desert, because it was a portable tabernacle that had to be dismantled and re-erected in each location. And when it talks about the members of the Merari family, who they carried the beams that made up the walls of the tabernacle. And it describes how there were 4 wagons with 8 oxen. Each wagon was pulled by 2 oxen. And they put the 60 beams, the walls of the tabernacle, these large wooden beams, on the 4 wagons. And the question is, why only 4 wagons? 60 beams on 4 wagons means each wagon transported 15 beams, and that's a tall pile of beams, and the members of the family of Levi had to walk behind it to make sure that it didn't tip over. Why not have 5 wagons or 6 wagons? And here our rabbis are teaching us a very powerful lesson, pointing out that the Torah is teaching us that in life we should utilize and maximize everything God gave us and never waste any resources that God gave us. And therefore, if 4 wagons can do the job and transport the beams, then 5 or 6 wagons would be wasting. And God doesn't want us to waste anything that He has given us. And this is not just when it comes to material things, that we shouldn't have excess and waste. Even if we have plenty of resources, we should realize that it was given to us for a purpose to utilize. But in every aspect of our lives, whatever talents, abilities, skills, characteristics God gave us, He gave it to us for a purpose. And just like we shouldn't waste money, but rather put it to good use, we must put to good use everything God has given us in our lives, because it was intended for a purpose. But most of all, it's a terrible thing, we know, to waste a life. We often hear people say, don't waste your life, because God gave you a gift of life. Why would you waste it? But we often fail to recognize that just like it's wrong to waste a life, it's tragic to waste a life. Every moment of life was given to you as a gift. God created this moment, and therefore it's a divine gift to be utilized properly. And therefore not only shouldn't we waste a life, we shouldn't waste a moment of life. Now, of course, we're human beings. We need time for relaxation, time for vacation, time for entertainment. That's part of being a functioning, balanced human being. But to just waste time, that is wasting a gift that God has given you. This lesson was powerfully underscored this week. A leading rabbi in Israel, Rabbi Gershon Edelstein, who is the head of the Panovich Yeshiva with thousands of students, passed away this week on Tuesday at the age of 100. He was born in 1923. He was taken to the hospital on Shavuot, on Friday, and he was in critical condition. He was put into the ICU. Sunday morning, thank God his mind was working. He said, I would like to give my daily Talmud class that I've given for over 75 years. They brought 5 of the most brilliant students from the yeshiva to the ICU to listen to his Torah class, his Talmud class, and go back to the yeshiva and repeat it to the thousands of students who were eagerly awaiting. There's a photograph of Rabbi Ailstein sitting in the ICU at a little table with a large volume of Talmud, with 5 of his students sitting around the table, as he teaches them a deep, intricate Talmudic passage section in the tractate of Sanhedrin. Monday morning, he gets up, he delivers the class again to those students who are invited into the ICU unit. And then Tuesday morning, he got up, prepared his class, wrote handwritten notes, 3 columns of handwritten notes in Hebrew to prepare his class. But he passed away before he had a chance to give that final class. To me, this is a powerful lesson. That here's a man at the age of 100, and he says, I still have time today to teach another class, to teach more Torah. I'm not going to waste a moment of my life. What a blessing. What a life lived to the fullest. That's the message of the wagons. Don't waste anything, material, spiritual, or the gift of time that God has given us. Have a wonderful day.